Hi, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Wednesdays with Wendy. My name is Wendy Garvin Mayo. I am a nurse practitioner and I am the stress solution strategist. Thank you so much for being here. We are continuing our series with the 10 foundational elements of intentional transformation, how to become your best self. This is based on a book by Mark Story. So we went through a couple of the elements. So we went through thought, we went through choice, vision, hope, sacrifice. Tonight, we're going to be talking about discipline. So we're going to talk about how sacrifice is the foundation of discipline. And I just want to back up and level set everyone who's watching and myself, just based on the reason we're doing this. So it doesn't matter where you are in life or what's going on, and just hear me out on this. We should all have goals or things we want to accomplish or purpose, because we are all here put on this earth for a purpose, right? Regardless of our situation. We all have purpose. We all matter. We all have gifts we need and want to share with the world and our loved ones and family. So these transformational elements that I'm talking about, we can all apply them to our lives. And we all want to be our best selves. We talked about showing up in the world the way we want to show up, right? So just based on our situations, that shouldn't really dictate how we show up. We still have some control over that. And that can be really hard to see, depending on where you are in life right now, what's going on in your life right now. That can be very difficult to accept. But these transformations that we're talking about, these elements of foundational transformation, is really for us to apply to our lives when we have that goal, when we have that purpose, when we have that thing we want to accomplish in life. And I'm here to tell you that you are capable of doing that. Regardless of your situation, you are capable of doing that. All these foundational elements live within you. You are capable of doing it. We are all capable of doing it. So I want to just reassure you of that doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You are capable and you deserve to have purpose. You deserve to have goals. You deserve to live your life the way you want to live your life, right? Even though you may have to make sacrifices, but it's how we look at those sacrifices in our lives that we're making, right? So the sacrifice in our life, really, when we make sacrifices, it should really be because of where we are, so where we currently are and where we're trying to be. So that's that goal. Your goal is where you're trying to be or where you want to go, right? So you need the bridge in there, right? So sacrifice may fall in between that, right? So you may have to sacrifice relationships, you may have to sacrifice things to kind of get what you want. And like anything else you have to give up, sacrifice is a loss, right? So if it's really people that you have to sacrifice in your life, that can definitely be a loss. If it's things, it feels like a loss. It's like an empty space, right? You feel like a sense of emptiness because you don't have that thing that you may crave, may want, right? But you have to make the sacrifice. And in that sacrifice, right? You are able to cope with that sacrifice because you have the purpose or goal in mind. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense to you or if that speaks to you, what I'm saying about the sacrifice, the goal, and your purpose in life. Um, so when you're sacrificing to meet your goal or your purpose, right, you want to really conserve your resources. And you have essential resources that you need to conserve. That's time, energy, definitely, and money, right? Those are the three elements that this author talks about conserving in your life resources. So if you have things or people or relationships in your life that are pulling from those things in a negative way, like if it's not positive, like if you're not, you know, spending positive energy with someone, they're pulling at your energy and they're bringing you down. You got to really reevaluate that. You got to really because then that's pulling you further away from where you want to be, right? Where we are and where we want to be in between that. So we have to really evaluate relationships. We talk a lot about really surrounding ourselves with people in community who support us and hold us up, right? So we need to be mindful of our time, mindful of our money, mindful of our energy, right? It doesn't matter if we have a lot of money or a little bit of money. We need to be mindful of how we're spending it, right? How we're putting it out there. So there are a few questions that this book outlines, which I think is really great. And I would really love if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay to listen to these questions, write them down, and write your answers to them. So one thing I do want you to write first is, what is your purpose? What is your goal in life? What is your purpose? What is your goal? Write that first. And then I want you to write these questions down and answer them. And I would love to see your answers to them. So if you can put them in the community or put them in the comments section so we can see. So the first thing is, how much extra time do you have? How much extra time do you have? And how can you utilize that time? And I want you to be mindful when I ask that question about time, because many times we say, I don't have any extra time. I have no extra time. But we can really build in time for what we want, right? So I'm a big advocate of building in time for self-care or alone time or time and space to process. And one thing I tell individuals, and I even take this tip myself, is, in the morning when you wake up, before you get out of bed, that's time for you to just sit and process. When you take a shower, that's time alone for you to sit and process it and do certain things. Brushing your teeth, there's things in our daily lives, in our routine, where we can take that time or extra time, right, to do something for ourselves, depending on who you are or your situation. Maybe you go for a walk every day. Maybe you sacrifice watching a show, right? So these questions is where the discipline comes in, right? So what do you do with that extra time, right? Maybe you sacrifice watching a show, maybe you sacrifice knitting, maybe you sacrifice I don't know, eating ice cream. Like, just think about your day. And I think that's another great exercise, to really write down what you do during the day. And I know my caregivers, your schedules are packed with many things, right? And especially if you're working. So, but where do you have the extra time or time, right? Time that you can be disciplined to really think or work on your goal. Okay. How much more can you do? How much more can you do is the next question. So if your goal is fitness, you want to move more, maybe you can say, during the day, I will move 3 times a day, and then really lay out those times, when I get out of bed, before I get in the shower, before I get in bed, right? So really building those little bite-sized goals for yourself to achieve your bigger goal. Okay. The next question is, how can I be more effective? And that's really important, because sometimes we're just going. We don't stop. We don't really think. We don't really process. We're just kind of going. We have the calendar and we're just kind of boom, 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 boom. Take some of that time again to really think, how can I be more effective in my day? What can I do better? Maybe to decrease my time, right? How can I be more effective? The next question is, what should I be doing? Are you doing what you should be doing right now in your life? And only you can answer that question, right? And this question I really love, but what is stopping you from taking action? What is stopping you, as I'm talking about these questions? What in your mind is stopping you from saying, "Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I can't be more effective," or what is stopping you from taking action? I think that's really important to identify. Really, really peel back on that. What is stopping me from taking action? And the last question is, what do you need to sacrifice? What do you need to sacrifice, possibly, to help you really focus in on that goal or your purpose? What do you need to sacrifice? So those are the questions that I would like you all to answer. Take some time and answer them. And more importantly, I want you to really think about your purpose and your goal. What are those? And I'm sorry if you can hear that. I have 2 dogs and they are playing. I can hear. I'm not sure if you can really hear it, but yeah. But think about your purpose and your goals, and know that despite whatever is going on in your life, you can still work towards those goals. Okay. So with that, that's all I have tonight. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope this was helpful. And again, I just want to reiterate that you are capable of meeting your purpose, meeting your goals, and you deserve to have those for yourself. All right. So have a good evening. And I look forward to seeing your answers in the chat or comments. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All right. Good night, everyone.